Everyone is saying that he should have pulled him aside to have a conversation, and maybe he should have, but would it have had the impact that that slap had? I don't think so. And I think that we need to be more honest about our relationship with violence. If you're not comfortable with violence, you damn sure do respect it. What's good? My name is Queen. I am the creator of Mixed Vixen. If you are new here, hi. And if you are not new here and you're coming back, hey, boo, thanks for coming through. I'm sure you saw the title of this video, and I honestly didn't plan on talking about the Oscars, Chris Rock, Will Jada situation, because I already have other videos planned for the month of April to put out. But I had some thoughts that I wasn't seeing on the internet enough for me. So I wanted to put those thoughts out there and get all of it out and flush it all out with you all. Before I get to that, make sure that you follow me on all of the socials and also subscribe to this channel. I do want to say that I noticed an uptick of subscribers since my last video, the problem, Euphoria has a colorism problem. Thank you for everyone who commented on that video and everyone who subscribed from watching that video, and or just because you watched my other videos and now you're here. You're a real one. Thank you for subscribing. So, the Oscars. I have honestly never watched the Oscars in my life. And somehow, the first Oscar I ever watched was this one. Like, I don't know how that happens, but whatever. I watched the Oscars because I heard Beyonce was going to be on. I am a Beyonce fan. I figured that she would be in the show, in the middle of the show or something like that, because you know how they like to tease us with Beyonce, but that is not what happened. She actually opened the show, and I just happened to leave the TV on while it was happening and was like cleaning stuff in my house, in my living room while it was playing, and it didn't sound like as boring as usual, so I just kept it on. One of the reasons I don't watch the Oscars, haven't really watched the Oscars, is because I am not a huge movie watcher. I like TV series. I'm more into episodic stuff. So I don't watch a lot of movies. And then also the Oscars are white as hell, and there's nothing really there for me. For those who don't know, at this point, I don't know how you could not know, because it's all everyone's talking about, and I'm not going to front. I'm a little sick of it too. I'm a little sick of hearing about it too. But I had to say these things. Little rundown, just in case you don't know what happened. Chris Rock was at the Oscars. See, I was about to say Grammys. That's how much this is not in my wheelhouse. But anyway, Chris Rock was presenting an award at the Oscars. And during his presentation, he did a little bit, and he was like joking on people in the audience. And this happened.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay.
He says that
I'm
joke,
out here.
and
Richard.
when I'm watching it, I am a little taken aback, because I'm like, wait, did that just, and I was in my apartment by myself, so I'm like, is that just, what? This is a joke. But then when I saw Will sit back at his seat and I see him mouthing, because in the U.S. they cut off the sound, I see him mouthing what he's mouthing. I'm like, oh, something's going on here. And that's when I realized this is not like an act or a bit, and that like Will Smith has actually just slapped Chris Rock on my television. I've just never seen anything like this happen on television at an event like the Oscars. I've definitely seen people get slapped. I have seen mild violence in my life. Like, I'm not gonna front, I participated in mild violence. So it wasn't the fact that someone was slapped. I was just so shocked to see that on my television, especially from Will Smith, whose career has been, he's a good boy, as far as how he likes to present himself from the media. So there's lots of conversations coming out of this talking about Jada's condition and how Chris Rock shouldn't have said what he said. I agree with that. I also think that lots of comedians need to step their comedy up. Like, that joke was corny. And it was corny and it was inappropriate. Like, it was really inappropriate. Like, I don't get why he still thinks joking about black women's hair is like a thing. I don't want to get into all of that, or Jada and all of that too much, because the goal of my video is actually something very different from a lot of what you probably have heard thus far, but I did want to give you a rundown of what happened and my reactions to it. One thing that I want to discuss that may not be such a popular opinion in terms of violence: Chris Rock was slapped in the face. Will did slap someone. I don't condone slapping people, but I also am not against violence. So yeah, I am not. I don't think that that was the appropriate way to solve what was going on between Will and Chris. But I also want to note that we live in a world and we live in a society that only respects violence. And that is the problem. That I think that systemically we live in a world that only respects violence. And when you use other tools to resolve conflict, they're not as respected, or the boundary rather is not as respected that you put up unless there's violence, particularly how I have seen it play out. Everyone is saying that he should have pulled him aside to have a conversation, and maybe he should have, but would it have had the impact that that slap had? I don't think so. And I think that we need to be more honest about our relationship with violence and how we are. If you're not comfortable with violence, you damn sure do respect it. And I think that that should be talked about more. We also use violence as an excuse. So because Will slapped Chris, now we're going to forget the harm that Chris Rock put upon Jada. There's so many people who are just skipping that. It was just a joke. It was just, whatever. It's not about your intent. When you say something, it's about how it lands. It's really about how it lands, and lots of people don't get that. We've been taught to only look at anger, rage, and violence in a snapshot way, when actually we should be looking at it holistically. How do we get to the violence? How do we get to the point where Will is slapping Chris Rock? How do we get to the point where Chris Rock thinks it's okay to talk about Jada Pinkett Smith's appearance? How do we get to those points? And until we resolve those things, violence like that is going to continue to happen. So ridiculing Will Smith, ridiculing people who understand, because I'm going to be honest, I am not opposed to a slap. For me, there has been instances where violence has saved my life. So I can't lie and pretend that the system of violence, although it is not great, has been a system that has been helpful for me and my survival as a Black woman growing up in the Bronx. I talk a lot more about violence, anger, and rage, and how it is actually an energy that is not wasteful, but we have been conditioned to believe that that is a wasteful energy. In the last episode of my podcast, I get a lot more into violence, anger, and rage and my relationship with it, and why I think it is sometimes a helpful tool in Black liberation. So you can listen to that. The link is down below. One of the other interesting things that happened when Will smacked Chris Rock on the Oscar stage was lots of Black women who saw this as a call to action for Black men to protect Black women, who saw this as a symbol of Black men now understanding protecting Black women, who saw this as, something hopeful, so that now Black men will know not to make us the butt of their jokes. Now Black men will know that there are other Black men who will protect us from their harm. Yes, I saw that, and that made me so uncomfortable, because the reality is that is not what that was. Will Smith smacking Jada, he didn't smack Jada. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock does nothing to protect Black women. There's no correlation there. Will Smith was protecting himself, was protecting his ego, was protecting his wife's in that instance, but nothing that he did was for the protection of black women as a collective. That is not what happened on that stage. And it was really, really interesting to see that be what many black women got from that. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on the Oscar stage is not going to trickle down to provide safety for me, for any of us, actually. I'm not going to front. It's cool to see a black man stand up for his wife in that way, especially giving all of the things that they have been going through, because they have been more public about their marriage, and people have really been coming at Jada Pinkett Smith's neck because their relationship is not a traditional relationship. A lot of black hetero people who believe in that black love TM stuff, Will and Jada being more honest with us about their relationship and the kind of relationship they have made them a target. So I get that, and I understand why he was fed up and he slapped Chris Rock. But that doesn't do anything in the realms of protecting black women, and I don't get how we got there. To be honest, I have seen black women still be harmed in the aftermath of this. I have now seen more people target Jada Pinkett Smith to harm her because of this heightened visibility, because of what happened at the Oscars. So many men who are, again, coming at her and her entanglement with August Alsina, which happened forever ago, but they still bringing that up as a reason to harm her. After this, they did not think, oh, now I shouldn't do this because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. This is not going to stop black comedians from making fun of us. It's not. It's their come up. There's so many internet black men and comedians who have used black women as a come up for their entertainment careers, and they're not going to stop that. And Will Smith is definitely not going to be the one to make them finally realize, oh, well, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Will Smith is not going to be that person. They don't even respect Will Smith. I've also seen, mostly on Twitter, that is the social media platform that I enjoy to use the most. I know it's trash, but I don't care. I enjoy it. And I've seen lots of people come at black women who may not have the favoring opinion out of this incident. So on my side of Twitter, everyone is okay with the slap. We understand Chris Rock shouldn't have said what he said. I agree with that. That's how I feel. Deal with it. But there are other black women who have different opinions about this. There are black women who are embarrassed and think that this shouldn't have happened at the Oscars. There are black women who don't think the joke was that bad. There are black women who are also saying violence isn't the answer. And all of those black women online who have said these things have been dragged. So is it protect black women or not? Or is it protect black women when they agree with you? Because this protect black women at all cost stuff seems very conditional. It's not real. It's just been interesting, especially when I have seen folks who understand these systems of misogynoir, who understands these systems of harm, who understands how white supremacist patriarchy works, and somehow they also saw this as a call to action to protect black women, and this was a symbol of that. And it's just really weird that they thought that this would do that. All of this stuff is systemic. This is not an isolated incident. And I understand wanting to be hopeful. I understand wanting to be at a point where you think black men actually get it, where black men are protecting us, where black men see us as an equal and equitable counterpart. And I want that too. And I understand that want, and I understand that hope. But realistically, the infrastructure of white supremacist patriarchy is just too damn good. It's built too damn sturdy for one slap from Will Smith to Chris Rock to be the thing that dismantles that. And honestly, nothing special happened here. Men generally always only protect the women who they are in close proximity with. So they protect their mothers. They protect their wives. They protect their daughters. They protect the women who uphold patriarchy and femininity and all of these things. And now they always protect those women because they feel that they own those women. Let's be realistic. So nothing that happened on the Oscar stage between Will Smith and Chris Rock is special or different. I have been in relationships with men that have slapped people for me, but at the same time were very abusive to me as well. And not because someone who slaps people is automatically abusive. No, because they protected me because I belonged to them. I was in a relationship with them. Until we get to a point where black men just protect us just because we are black women and they don't need a standard or a proximate relationship or a transactional relationship to actually care and protect us, that should be the goal. Not because I'm your wife. Superficially, yes, it makes sense. I want my husband. I don't even want a husband because I'm not into marriage. If I'm in a relationship with a man, not even. I come from that. I had a father who was very protective. My brothers, very protective. My guy friends, very protective of me. But I know it's because of what I represent to them and also what I have provided for them within our relationships as family members, as friends, and also as their lover. That's when they protect us. So I just think that we should just be more honest about that. Nothing special happened on that stage. Honestly, it was Will Smith's ego. He was hurt and he saw his wife hurt and he wanted to rectify that. But this wasn't a call to action for black men to protect black women. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I do want to close this with one more thing, because I just have to, and I'm heavy into understanding desirability politics right now. What Will Smith did is not going to trickle down and save black dark-skinned women, black fat women, black trans women, black poor women. It's not. It's going to protect the women that black patriarchy has always been protecting, and those are the ones who are higher on the hierarchy when it comes to desirability, and also higher in hierarchy when it comes to who upholds patriarchy the best for them. They ain't gonna protect me. Nothing he did was to protect me or even you. I just, want us to be honest about that. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment and a thumbs up. And join my Patreon family. I have some other videos there that I do not make public. There's usually thoughts that I'm trying to work out and stuff like that. So join the Patreon. And always remember, you are a bad bitch. You are enough. Stay fly, y'all. I'll see you in the next video.